Hello guys, welcome to the ThriveBros. This is a self-improvement channel of two guys trying to improve themselves. My name is Timek,
My name is Bartek.
and today we're going to discuss habits that keep us weak. So, you know the feeling that when you come back from school, maybe from work, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go to the gym in like half an hour, maybe an hour, or like study. So you have some free time and you grab your phone and you're like, yeah, I'm going to stop in the half an hour, like start studying or go to the gym or whatever you wanted to do. You grab your phone, you scroll Facebook, TikTok, YouTube even, and you find yourself hour and a half later still scrolling because you forgot that you were even supposed to go out or do something. You just lost this hour and a half just on scrolling, not doing anything. This is one of the things that I found myself doing a lot, and this is the simplest things you can find, and they appear a lot. So I would connect it like that would be the first habit that might keep you weak, which is being addicted to something so that you lose track of your time. So as I've said before, looking at your phone, you don't look at your phone for 10 minutes. It always takes longer. You lose track of your time. You lose sense of yourself. You're looking through your phone, not even looking at the videos you're scrolling through, just scrolling through them. This doesn't account to anything.
The thing with social media, specifically the apps with short form content, is that it's made to be addictive. It's supposed to be that you want to just scroll for 5 minutes and you end up doing it for an hour. And you're like, you go off your phone and you think, okay, I scrolled for 15 minutes. You look at the clock or at your watch and you think, man, when did this time pass? It's been an hour and I've done nothing. I was supposed to go to the gym, do something productive, and I ended up scrolling. How did this happen?
Yeah, and after the time that you're scrolling, you also don't feel really productive. You lose a lot of your energy. So even if you still have time to go to the gym, maybe it's like 6 p.m. So you still have some time, even like 4 hours most of the time. But you're like, nah, it's a bit late now, so I won't go. And that's how you lose a lot of your progress, a lot of your productivity, because the fact that you wasted your time, your energy on something that didn't count to anything, this didn't make you do anything productive. So now you just don't really want to study, do your work. Too late for that. That's why addictions are really making you a lot weaker. They take up a lot of your time and mental health.
You know, you mentioned social media, and I would connect it to porn because social media most of the time is softcore porn. Go on Instagram, you see a girl showing her ass. You go on TikTok, you see a girl showing her ass, and nudity makes you weaker. As a wise man said, it was Sultan Saladin. If you want to destroy any nation without a war, make adultery or nudity common among young generation. And if you think about it, we live in a times when nudity is very common among us.
The fact is that if you go onto any social media, it's really hard to actually like I deleted my TikTok because I was using it too much. So
Because I called you out on it.
yeah, exactly. And I started sometimes looking through Instagram and Facebook. So like maybe see what's happening to my friends, to my family. And the fact is that those things don't even appear that much. Nothing is happening. However, as you said, soft core porn, there is a lot of it. So at the end, I just still needed to delete my Instagram. It's easy to come by on it on Instagram, on TikTok. So just looking on your phone too much on your social media really messes up your brain when you see those things, and maybe you are still addicted to fapping. Your thoughts are going to immediately come to think of those things if you've seen a girl, and one thing will lead to another, and you're back on your streak. Like you lose your nofap.
The reason why porn is so bad because our subconscious mind and our like caveman mind, you when you see all these women naked, your caveman mind thinks that you have such a variety of women that you stop having this urge to improve yourself because you think that, oh man, I have all these women, I get to spread my seed, I get to reproduce, and your caveman mind thinks that you achieved this big goal, this main goal of life.
Okay, so going to another habit, I would say that people don't think of their nutrition a lot. So, like, that's a thing I would used to do often. I would eat my dinner, then I wouldn't be really hungry, and I would get hungry at 9 p.m. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep in a moment, don't need to eat another meal. So I would skip my meals, first of all. Second of all, not really think my meals through. So what really comes into that, if I'm getting enough protein, carbs, fats. And those two things are kind of really easy to see in your diet. However, not drinking enough water. If you don't think of it really consciously, it isn't really that easy to see that you're dehydrated. However, it really keeps you in this lower state, I would say, that you're not really peak performing.
Okay, so let's move on to the next habit, video games. Video games give you this virtual stimulation of real things that you strive for. For example, you care about status among other men and levels, and you don't really care about the levels you get in games. You care about the status, this feeling that you are superior to other men. And video games manipulate these core desires, and you think of yourself that you're a high value guy who's competitive, but it's not really true. You think that you're climbing this male hierarchy when you're just sitting and playing video games.
Yeah, so I would kind of connect it to other addictions. So you're just getting the easy pleasure, like the easy dopamine, without achieving something. Like you're not competing to buy some cigarettes, you're not competing with anyone to buy a game, and then you're going to play it for an hour or like smoke for an hour, just not achieve anything.
The reason why doing things in real life and doing the same things in a game, not really the same, but kind of, is that you want to get this status, but the thing that brings it to you is discomfort, and you don't have this discomfort in a game. When you level up your strength in a game, you don't have any discomfort. You're just sitting in your chair drinking some energy drink. And when you level up your strength in real life, you go to the gym, you really face discomfort every day because it's hard to go to the gym every day.
I'd say that playing video games just makes things so easy for you that you don't feel like you've achieved something. Though the things that you see that you have achieved, the achievements in game, just give you this quick dopamine that you feel good for achieving them, and then you just forget of them. And they are not useful really. Like when you go out, maybe try to find some work and give your like CV, have a talk with like the boss, and he's like, "What are your strengths?" "Yeah, I have 1,000 hours in Skyrim or something." Yeah, he's not gonna really care, and even if he did, it's for the opposite reason because he knows that you wasted 1,000 hours. Apart from that, like if we're not talking addictions, I would say not doing one thing, and that is reading is a really bad habit. And the reason for that is that you're not developing mentally. You keep your brain weak. You're not reading books, like even reading any books, unless they are of course really bad books, is good for your brain. Like there are some books, as I've said, which are kind of weird. They weren't written by a sane person. However, a normal good book, just any of them, will develop your brain. The best ones are of course philosophical ones, I'd say, that really affect your psyche, point of view, change your thought process. Those probably the best because they develop your brain the most. But just reading at all makes your thoughts clearer.
I'd say learning is important, not specific reading, but learning new things. When you look at your parents, they probably stopped learning when they left school. They just stopped improving their skill set. They just thought, okay, I have a job now and I don't have to improve, I don't have to work. And they are stuck in the same job for 10, 20 years because they just stopped improving, stopped learning. The next habit I would like to mention is being passive and not taking action. You've heard of all these good habits you should be doing, and you're just not taking action. You heard that it's good for you, you know that it's good for you, and you're still doing all the bad habits you used to. You're not doing any good habits you should, and you're just not taking action.
Yeah, I'd say also a similar thing is that having a net negative view of yourself. So that maybe you connecting to yours, that maybe you look and you're like, yeah, I should go to the gym. But you're looking at it not the way you should. So you're looking at it, yeah, I should go to the gym because I'm fat. Like you're shaming yourself. Like I mean you should go to the gym when you're fat, but you're getting this negative view of yourself that makes you feel worse. And because you're not taking action, you just get into the way of thinking thinking that you're just worse than everyone else. And this doesn't have to be, of course, just inside like the gym. Like it can be even in school. Just thinking of yourself badly makes those actions, correct ones, so much harder to do because your thought process already, like when you're thinking that, yeah, I'm fat, like that's, and you're not taking action, you just get into the line of thinking that, yeah, I'm fat, and you just stay comfortable with it.
Another habit, bad habit you should look out for is feeling sorry for yourself. A lot of weak people, when something bad happens, or start to feeling sorry for themselves and don't try to fix the problem, they start just crying because they have a problem. That's a feminine trait. Doing such a thing is a feminine trait, and as a masculine man, you shouldn't do that. Let's say you're in school and you failed a big test, and instead of just sitting and start crying because you failed it, you think, okay, I failed it. Crying around won't change it. What can I do to change it? And you, for example, go to the teacher and ask, when can I write it again? When can I take the test again? And you study harder, and this time you get a better grade and you pass. There is a movie scene with Bruce Lee when he was chasing this bad guy, this main villain of a movie, and he got trapped. He runs into a hallway and the door behind him closes and the door in front of him closes. And first of all, he runs to both doors, try to kind of run away while they're closing. But when he realizes he's trapped, he doesn't cry around, he doesn't, I don't know, call for help. He sits and starts meditate because he knows it's the best moves on the board and just calling for help and crying around won't change anything. So he starts meditating to be ready when the door opens.
Okay, so the last habit I have is not having a good sleeping routine. So that kind of connects to a lot of other bad habits we discussed before. So you stay till, I don't know, 1 a.m. playing video games. Then you're kind of not feeling tired because you are playing video games, so your brain is still active. So you go and, I don't know, fap for an hour. And it's maybe even 2 a.m. because you did something in between. And you need to wake up at like 6. You have 4 hours of sleep, you're not getting enough rest. The only thing your brain remembers before going to sleep is wasting your time for 7 to 8 hours. Your brain kind of thinks of it like work. You're getting more exhausted from it than doing anything else. Your brain gets more exhausted than it has time to rest. You're not getting enough of it and you repeat the same thing every day.
The reason why people with poor sleeping habits they don't realize how bad their sleep habits are is because they don't see the difference. They didn't experience their brain going on 100% when they are well rested, and they think that they can rest enough on sleeping 5 hours because they didn't experience how is it to perform when you are well rested and you sleep when you sleep like 9 hours a day.
So I guess that's it.
So stay a lifelong student.
See ya.